the College COD. We got Oklahoma University going up against the University of Texas San Antonio. My name is Corn. With me is Proper. A number 12 team going up against an unranked team. It spells a 3-0 out on paper. Will it be the same once we get into the game? Well, that's all to be set in stone. But Andy, looking at the two teams that we got in front of us right now, one team clearly looks better than the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's all but just one loss, right? And that's UTSA's Orange. Currently sitting at 5-1. Their one loss was to, what was it, like NWOSU? There's so many damn OSUs, OUs. I'm just back at this point. But funnily enough, in the 6-0 stint that the University of Oklahoma find themselves on, they were able to beat NWOSU in 5. So pretty similar when you look at the tail of the tape. The hard point is probably the biggest elephant in the differential in between these two teams. Search and Destroy definitely in the favor of UTSA Orange, but strength of schedule is definitely something to talk about continuously, but OU Esports definitely the favorite today.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking like an Eslo here, just plain and simple from the get-go here for UTSA. Looking at the maps that we have for our best of 5 series here, we'll start out with the protocol for the hard point. And then jump into a search and destroy on the same map. So we got a nice double protocol to get us kicked off in our best of 5 series. Should we go the distance for 4 and 5, Skyline and Vault will be there as consolation prizes towards the end of this series. But just talking about the hard point, Andy pretty much set it in stone, and so did the head-to-head graphic. Obviously, that is the proverbial elephant in the room as addressed by Andy and Oklahoma University. They've been pretty good in the mode.
Yeah, I mean, so long as we keep pointing out a whole bunch of different elephants, the one thing that is jumping immediately off the page is that Skyline hardpoint. I mean, you want to talk about a pace differential as far as this best of 5 is concerned, maybe depending on the rollout that you see in Protocol Search and Destroy or the bang out that could happen for Vault S&D. Skyline hardpoint is probably going to be the fastest pace, but we got to get there first. I think that when you're looking at that Protocol Search and Destroy, that was actually the map 5 for the Boomer Sooners going up against NWOSU. They were able to win that 6-4. On the other side, a returning venue is that Vault Control. Both of these teams actually lost that map 3 to NWOSU. So really hard to be able to say which one way this is going to go. But as far as slaying prowess and as far as everything that the season has to offer, strength of schedule, and just what we've come to expect from OU in general, this should probably be a 3-0 or a 3-1 in their favor. But hey, I love a good underdog story. I know you do too, Alex. I love to be shown a certain surprise today. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think I so as well. I mean, looking back to last season, just for Oklahoma University specifically here, I mean, the Sooners didn't have too hot of a year. 8-7 overall throughout the regular season, did make it into the regional playoffs, bowed out a bit early. So, I mean, again, there's not really much to write from last season, but things at least look better early on in the goings of the 2025 calendar year. Being in the 12th rank at in the top 25 at this point, I'm not sure if this is a team that is going to find themselves stuck around here for the majority of the year. This is kind of going to be like a float early top 12, top 15 team, and then maybe find themselves lower down later on. That's kind of a story that I'm going to be watching kind of as this year goes forward, just to see which teams that are in the top 25 actually, I don't want to say deserve to be there, but deserve to be there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like a broken record at this point in so many seasons when it comes to the CCL. The top 25, I mean, I definitely got a lot of respect for how the rankings are at least customized, but they really don't mean a damn thing at the end of the day, because we were going off of scrimbucks. Like, nothing in these regular season matches so far, at least with the early stages here for this season, have been able to show a lot of these top teams versus each other. You know, we keep on asking ourselves whether it's LAN or whether it's just in a high-octane online series. We're just waiting for the top 5 teams to go up against each other, because that is forever changing. A lot could be the difference when it comes down to a top team going up against another one. So the top 25 might just give you a good gauge of where some individuals might be located at. But look no further. Just being in the top 25 alone, it does not mean that UTSA are going to get blown out of the water here. Protocol Hardpoint being the first venue might be able to offer something up should the Boomer Sooners take their opponents for granted.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting series here, but starting out with this hardpoint on Protocol, Oklahoma, they felt decent so far through the majority of the series they played. Last year, it was 27-26 on the year for overall map win-loss record, but in the mode, it was not all that great. It was about even. So, starting off here, first blood going to go the way of UTSA. San Antonio will be inside of the hardpoint first here in P1, setting up, looking back over towards P2. It's going to be the last one up, back over towards the right-hand side. Koi's looking for some shot.
Just trying to work their way a little bit further forward. Just waiting too much time, though. I mean, UTSA Orange going to have a player push all the way up. Luckily enough, able to find that trade and able to benefit from that is Kensei. Get a little bit closer up towards the spawn area for UTSA Orange. You've seen the spawn trap work wondrous before. Good setup coming through for OU.
Nice shots from Joe. Playing the top triple. Will snap down for a second, get away with his life as well. So with 15 seconds left, we'll look over towards the P2 side. T8, though, on an overzealous challenge from Koi, will be able to wipe that player away. So on the rotation, Oklahoma will be set up first, and you can see T8 trying to push his way up the map. He's going to try and get top ropes control. Could be a bit wonky for the spawns.
Let's see. The spawns have not flipped out fully yet. Gone through an entire hard point so far, which means that OU Esports are able to maintain that presence on the favorite side of the map. They started off on that side at the end of the day. Now, if you're looking at it from UTSA's perspective, Roadrunners just trying to find an avenue on their way in. I mean, nobody's hitting a route. It's protocol at the end of the day. You just have to somehow work your way through one of these head glitches and maybe rip somebody off of the adjacent one, and that's so much easier said than done. But finally, UTSA, they find a better kill feed for themselves. Don't flip the spawns out. Lando finds an opportunity to get a little bit further forward, but still UTSA accruing time.
Top ropes control. Still continuing to be locked down by UTSA. Look back over towards the point. Last few remaining seconds. Going to be falling orange, at least at this juncture. And you can see those white arrows starting to make their way towards that south side of the map. So they're going to completely give up this P2 hold. They're going to try and push their way over towards P3. It'll be bully ball through the front. Also trying to make a route through helicopter to get to the back. But right now, just can't even get across half the map.
And so far from start to finish, where we are going in towards P3, the Esports have been in firm control. So early doors, though, UTSA Orange, they still have these back spawns, and these are very, very sticky, but just look at the swarm for OU Esports. They're already working their way back through. Should be the spawn out. Yeah, it absolutely is. Koi spawns in no man's land. Rogue spawn does come through from draw. I mean, nobody from OU Esports were effectively blocking it, but still control nonetheless.
Top ropes control, looking for triples. Gonna be 3 kills that go the way of UTSA. And once again, it's just another full wipe where Oklahoma are gonna have to fight through the front once again. Very open middle map. Everybody making routes down to no man's land. And we've seen this time and time again where Oklahoma University have tried to get to that rotation earlier. They just keep getting broken.
Tough scene to find yourself in. Bit of a pace differential, potentially. UTSA Orange catching OU Esports lacking. Maybe playing a little bit too far ahead of themselves. Benefited them, the Roadrunners, to be able to get such a bolstering lead. This one is a head scratcher. You got trophy systems down low here. Alex Nades won't stick, and Sasmo's got a nasty head glitch. Good for 2. Okay. How about 3? 4 is going to be over by Spiral, but job is good.
Just a snapshot game. He's almost by himself. Spots one dropping down in front of him. They continue to push their way forward. Not even a slide challenge in. It's 2 kills that go the way of San Antonio. The 8 gonna try and hold the front. Try to create recreate the magic that Zemo had beforehand. But as Kensei is able to pop for 3 and T8 tags along. It's another 4-man wipe. Great time here in a money P4.
Needed this. You are looking from OU's perspective, and again, I mean, on paper, this should be their favorite. That was definitely not your best look if you are Zemo, but at the end of the day, that P4 absolutely, or this final hardpoint, I should say, definitely is. UTSA Orange gonna get the consolation back 10 seconds. Gonna make them have just about a 30-plus point lead going in towards the next set, Alex, and not a bad luck for UTSA Orange. I mean, we were ready to write them out, thinking maybe it was gonna be a Neslo for UTSA Orange if they're gonna have any sort of opportunity for this, but slang's consistent, that presence is strong. They're really kind of deathballing through the entirety of protocol, and realistically, if you can find all of that, team shot your way through these narrow choke points, working out quite well for them so far. Who am I to make an argument?
Another week where we see the stats on paper not necessarily translate into the game. Something that's become quite a trend here in the CCL. B-dub on the back end, looking to top grandmas for Kensei. On the rest of San Antonio, go ahead and hold down the fort. It's going to be a nade, some shots over the top from T8 that will be able to break outside of P1 and allow Oklahoma University to get on in. Hellstorm able to be used here for Oklahoma. So later in the game, could be something to watch for on a P2, P1 hold.
I would almost think, depending on how this rotation over towards 2 does go their way. I mean, OU Esports, again, they have the favorite side. Got that rotation. The split in the first set of hardpoints just did not accrue any time whatsoever. Something's got to change. 3 in the feed for UTSA once again. Just as the rotation starts to happen, EWPs push all the way up over by staircase. Tough gunfight, no matter which angle you try to take it from. But nobody from UTSA Orange is like pushing up to try to help BWP. He's on a 5 spree. Someone bump this poor soul. Someone get some streaks.
I'll look around. Over the top in the meantime, by the AA gun, work was done to hold them off. So a top trip's held down. 25 seconds left to play for here inside of P2. There are a few bodies around, and it's such a hard gunfight to take if you're flying up the ropes there. T8 will make it stick with the shot punch afterwards. Still Oklahoma University garnering some significant time here. Snap back over towards the right, and you're just trying to hold him off through middle map, but you don't realize that somebody slipped through the cracks just yet. Looks like B-Dub will finally fall on the back end here. T8 will jump down on top.
Yeah, good pickup here. T8 in towards the back on a 5 spree themselves. Already has streaks to play with, but still shooting like a demon right now. Nice shots on his own over by the AA gun. Spawn's not anchored in towards the back. I think Lando spawned out quite some time ago. Koi actually spawns in towards the back, albeit that OU Esports did have possession of the hill. So just a strange hard point at the end of the day. Strange spawns, strange games, strange times we live in, my friends. But still, OU Esports benefiting from it. BWP still on a rampage through the staircase. Will be traded out, and UTSA doing a great job contesting this from the front.
That was a good read from B-Dub to turn back around. Watch the spawn flips in the back end, but with Oklahoma University being able to take the lead here. Finding themselves with a 10 and growing lead. You're starting to see the players in the submachine gun specifically being able to take over the mantle. T8 leading the way for the AR strengths. On the right side on the sidewalk, Kensei will be able to find one, still white in the kill feed. You look down towards the bottom. Last time it was Oklahoma University that was able to make the most of it. UTSA going to get the early rotation this time in P4.
Sure will. Ready set up down low. Oma. Eyes set over towards Spiral. Teammates need some assistance, though, through the big door. And from that lack of initial assistance from the point of contact, allows OU to work their way all the way in towards this time. Hills popped. They got a lock on the situation. First hit through Spiral, dead. Inch just starting to be set up, but it's a double-ditch effort, and OU have the numbers inside the time.
Oh, long shots. Boy, needed to be able to connect on a few more of those. Take that first catalyst out. Now as you start to push your way back in, Lando for one, trying to find himself 6 in a row. His teammate slides over towards that right-hand side. He stays alive, snaps back over towards the left, and keeps everybody alive inside of the hill for OU. So now as UTSA find themselves at a wild deficit, this game is completely flipped on its head within 3 hills.
It was about a 70-point deficit, Lando. What? Oh, you know what? You just got to stop gassing up, people. And it leads to nothing good. 205 to 135, though, and that deficit, again, has been climbed and flipped. Now a 70-point lead for OU as we go back towards the top center of the map for P1 once again. UTSA Orange need a lot to go their way. The slaying may have been consistent, but the superstardom coming through from OU Esports just kind of outshining whatever UTSA were cooking at the beginning of this hard point.
You'll have a Hellstorm to invest here if you are T8. But the hardest battle right now is for UTSA to find presence on the map. They have not been able to even snip the middle of this in towards the P1 hill. As the Hellstorm will be invested, it backs everybody off, keeps them away with 20 seconds left. Oklahoma University in the driver's seat, ready to take map 1.
Desperation starting to settle in. Here comes the Hellstorm missile from T8. Loses 3 of his teammates along the way, so surely this one is just going to drop right in front of the building. Everybody's just trying to take refuge inside the initial of the building. Comes some trades, at least Zalma trying to make a fighting effort to try to work their way back through the hard point. Will be actually Koi on that 4 spree, so this will extend it ever so slightly, but it's a ticking tie bomb. OU just needs 16.
Hell of a comeback. Kensei up top will fall. One is slipped through the cracks. The map is starting to flip out yet again. And over by P2. Well, Oklahoma University have it locked down. It's just a matter of time.
Yep, sure is. We keep saying that, but I mean, they keep finding numbers. Nice little pinch comes through from Zamo just to try to stop that. Loses the one down low. Hold on a second. It's just Lando inside the time. He's got help up top. He had help up top. They just need 4, Alex.
T8 will slide in to find the first in the left-hand corner. Koi will sit on it for a moment. 22 seconds left and only 4 needed. As Kensei rocks on the outside of barrels, Lando will find the first blood inside of Oklahoma University, and that will keep him out the front door forever so slightly longer. Oklahoma University take map 1.
I mean, we had 70-point leads on both sides. And I'm not going to lie, there was at one point where I really did think where you just needed 4 to win the game. That was probably going to be a 3-second win. But it looked like OU all the way, didn't it? I mean, even when they were down 70 points, they had favored spawns for P2 to start off the game, and they were down by, like, what was it, like 80-30 towards the end of the first set? I don't know, man. It's CCL. Numbers don't make any sense anymore. It's like whose line? Points made up. Nothing matters anymore. It's just what happens in like the second set. It just felt like OU just kind of like, it's kind of like what I was projecting, is that they were taking them for granted. It almost felt like they were going for egregious gunfights continuously. The death ball for UTSA Orange, like they were playing so slow that every single time somebody from OU was just overextending, they were losing numbers continuously. And then UTSA were like, I guess we could encroach on the hard point now. They never really flipped the spawns. They weren't the aggressor, but they were definitely benefiting from getting run at continuously through the first, like, what would you reckon, like 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout outs to T8 there. AR, I mean, he started out slow, and I mean, that pretty much was the, I don't want to say the sole reason, but a very large portion of why Oklahoma was able to make that comeback in the early stages of the game. But once he got activated on that P4 and back over towards P1 with the help of Zamo getting that 3-piece, that really started to get them those points that got them back to around an even standstill in the game. It really was not close after that. So basically, tale of two halves. Oklahoma University storm out in the second half. UTSA, I mean, despite many attempts towards the end of that game, tried their best to make it close. But now we go to a map 2, back on the same map for Protocol, where we're going to be playing the grundle of the map.
What? We're going to be playing the what map?
The grundle of the map.
Grundle of the map, I guess.
Yes.
Protocol search and
Would you
destroy.
not consider that a grundle?
There are many
connecting
things
point between two destinations.
Okay, all right. So, I don't know. With you, and you say the word grundle, there's certain words that you say, Mr. McCornmeal, that I don't know which way, like, you could mean that word. Certain words might be, it could also be the age gap in between you and me. I'm old enough to be your dad at the end of the day. So, you know, I don't know.
Hi, Papa.
I don't know. You say the darndest thing sometimes, you young hooligan. Protocol search and destroy, though. And this is where I think that UTSA Orange, that death ball S concept of just trying to team fire their way into oblivion, might work in their favor. But again, it's just a might. It's all on paper. OU, we've seen this through how many years have we been doing this, J-Pro? Someone DM me for crying out loud in CCL. Sometimes one team's just better than the other one. And right now, OU just are able to show that. Their gunfighting prowess, their aggression is just that much better. UTSA just got to try to shut that down. And they might be able to tie up the series here.
Ifs, ands, all the speculation. It's every single series that we go through, but it's an open book in terms of the search and destroy. So let's talk about it a little bit more in depth. We had the conversation about T8. We felt pretty confident about what he was able to do in the second half of the game. We looked at B-Dub on the opposite side. I felt like he was in the right position a lot of the times. Going into the search and destroy, though, obviously the SMG gameplay is going to be very important, as we always mention, every single time we go to any of the maps inside of Black Ops 6 because of how close some of the maps are. But going down to the bottom of the site is going to require those two players to get aggressive. You're going to have your BZ style players being the ones to take those first gunfights and try to get those first bloods for your team. But again, as a bang out map, as Protocol is on a search and destroy towards the bottom of the site, it is going to require B-Dub to pretty much be that man for UTSA, which I think is definitely a possibility going into the search and destroy here. And again, the first half of that hard point played extremely well. I think he got out to almost a double positive start at one point. And then very quickly slowed down as the rest of UTSA also did behind him. But that's going to be at least my personal player to watch for going into the S&D.
No, I agree. I think that B-Dub was definitely the highlight reel player coming through UTSA. You just need a supporting member to come through. Remember that 5 spree that B-Dub was on over towards P2 in the third set of hills in that map number 1. I just simply was asking for somebody to bump for him or just overwatch him. It just felt like we were waiting 10, 12 seconds almost. Maybe not as an egregious amount of time as that, but still waiting nonetheless for somebody to help out B-Dub for the space that he was providing. You don't get that luxury in Search and Destroy, especially for Protocol. To your point, Alex, that bang out down bottom center for that bomb site is just about everything when it comes down to whether you're going to win that round or not. Those first bloods, do you finesse your life? Do you go untraded? Do you end up finding 2? All of these questions are definitely in the consideration for B-Dub, and all of it becomes so much more doable if he does have assistance. These first few rounds in Protocol Search and Destroy are so important with these nades and the presence bottom center to drop down inside that courtyard, to be able to get a crossfire in towards that server room because you don't have the trophy system. You can somehow win that bottom fight very, very quickly and just give somebody assistance, whether it's B-Dub or somebody else for this team. You could be sitting pretty darn pretty when it comes down to like maybe like a round 4, maybe round 5, maybe it could be a 3-2 lead. But nonetheless, if you can take advantage before the trophy systems actually become online with these nades, that could be the difference in whether or not you take this map 2 or not.
Yeah, I feel like that's, realistically what it comes down to and it boils down to in most search and destroy situations. really across any map that we've seen, any game that we've seen throughout the CCL so far. And it's an undervalued thing that I feel, even on the broadcast, for the most part, very underutilized when it comes into the conversation about, why teams might be able to, take those early rounds and have those set nades. I mean, you think back to the MW3 season, and even just some of the other games where NYSL, they were the team that spent the most time in search and destroy in the factory, being able to go over those set nades and find the little things on the map that would catch somebody off guard. And there was a reason that nobody wanted to allow them to have the strong arm perk, or whatever it was called last year, because it was too powerful. So they GA'd it immediately because one team got better with it. Anyways, into the search and destroy, Kensei up top trips, looking for a few bits of information on the opening gunfights, gets peppered up, and will slide back to the rest of his team, but an aggressive player, it's B-Dub, who's already up in him.
Numbers early. UTSA. I'd almost think you got to be working that plant, but they have so little information. T8, some machine gun, don't matter. No trades whatsoever, and that's bomb, by the way. So 2v2 isolated gunfights on both sides.
Oh, backline, shaky for a moment, swap to the pistols, good from Zamo. Thought for a moment that might have been sour. But now T8 left alive in a 1 versus 2. Might catch some good timing here. One player towards the back end, but it'll slide all the way across. So each player winning their respective 50-50s. Long range shots. Another player, P1's going to be good for 1. Interested to see how TA plays it.
Still needs to get recovered. That's step 1. 20 seconds. That's your biggest problem. So bomb recovered top center. Is he going to take the blind drop? Oh my god, he does. Jeez. There were so many unknowns, but it's nowhere to be found. He's just going to have to play the retake. Timing could be everything. It's going to be free. Yeah, I mean, whether or not you get that bomb planted, probably on the exit, you probably would have died. Wonderful discipline being exemplified there for T8. Just a continuation of everything we were gassing up from that map number 1.
Watch your toes out. Slide on in, stays high. Quick and easy. Trade him out. Force the 1v1. Retake the site. That's pretty much as simple as it gets for the first round of S&D.
Wonderfully stated. And a whole lot else to break down. I think the round was just so fast. Like, nobody has a trophy system yet, just by the way. We're in a 1v1 in, like, about 45 seconds of the time. Here comes the offense, though, for OU, just banging through the top center of the map. I think that Dro was really the only person that would have had eyes on this. I mean, Koi's definitely going to get the alert now. Lando's chasing him all the way back around the building. This is a play. And I'm starting to question whether or not it was set.
I actually kind of like that, though, from B-Dub. On the defensive side. Got really aggressive onto the opposite side of the map once again. And actually found Zamo early. This allows a 3 versus 2 on the opposite side of the map. T8 and the rest of the Oklahoma boys going to get this bomb down. Now the rest of the 2 players from UTSA trying to make their way back in through P3. It's such a hard bomb site to retake, though, with that contention spot in the back flag tower.
Yeah, sure is. A lot of this is going to have to come through just raw talent. I mean, B-Dub got the Jackal. It might be up close where you can win this gunfight if he reads it to the right. Not just a little bit too late. Koi already gave away his position. Good luck, have fun moment. 20 seconds remain. That door may open. He's going to see one player in towards the back, but too low HP, too low on time, not enough comrades as well. It's OU Esports able to take this. 2-0 lead so far. Aggression working out quite wonderfully for them. It was just really weird. I mean, you get such a unique timing through top center. Typically, you try to get that back head glitch, the helicopter, get that bomb planted, but yeah, be ready for OU. Just kind of push all the way through, expecting maybe the entire team to re-wrap, but would have been sick. Not the timing they got, so a round win nonetheless.
I feel like, if you're going to hit that play out, you got to send all 4. And that last contestant player, if you're sitting in the middle of the map, yeah, you're looking for like a 1 flank through middle, but I mean, at the same time, it's just kind of like, flip the map out at that point. But nitpicky, to say the least. Looks like UTSA is going to try and at least do something similar. Unfortunately, they'll be met with the hands of Kensei. We'll find the first blood, traded out by Koi. 15 seconds taken off, 2 bodies drop, 1 for each side. Now if you're T8, you're on 5 in a row. Once again, looking to get behind a few.
I'm just waiting up their building, just expecting for something to go their way. T8? I mean, he was ready for that and everything, and it just blows up in UTA's face. I mean, they thought They had the read on the situation. They were going to the grocery store. They knew what they wanted. They wanted to make a simple shepherd's pie for dinner. They walked away with lamb chops, Alex. Lamb chops. It blew up in their face. They had no idea that T8 was just flanking them from behind. Oh, it's gnarly.
That's 7 in a row for T8. And if he doesn't have a Hellstorm already, he's damn close. Hops out of the window. Gets... I was going to say bad timing on the P1, but it ended up working out for him. Don't necessarily see Protocol as a windy map, but the rain, you never know. Weather patterns change from day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute.
Yeah, cold rain especially.
Like,
I mean, that's gonna push something.
Looks like he hit so hard he actually got kicked out of the game. So looks like we'll stop here at 3-0 for Oklahoma University.
It's too real, man.
All right, well, I mean, not much to talk about in the S&D in the early goings there. Oklahoma University really just winning gunfights, and that's pretty much the thick and the thin of it. But UTSA, they tried a few creative things, and maybe it hasn't worked out for them all too much, but it's just a few players lacking behind, not able to get things going. B-Dub's getting aggressive, getting behind these players, but putting himself on an island a lot, and it's not allowing the rest of the team to be there for trades.
Yeah, I mean, look, that one last play that we had to walk away with where Tate was just kind of flanking them into oblivion, you can deathball all you want, but you best watch those lanes, because if that one lane doesn't go looked at, you lose that one timing, you're going to get flanked by a Jackal. Tate's got to be feeling himself at this point, man. Very impressive stuff coming through. You got to somehow have an answer if you are UTSA. The aggression wasn't the response. It kind of got thrown back at you, and OU is clearly and so favorably within the driver's seat.
Well, not exactly sure when we're going to get the restart on this. We're going to take it to a quick break. When we come back, it'll be a 3-0 lead for Oklahoma University. UTSA on the opposite end, trying to at least get back into the S. Oklahoma University on the offensive try. Going to be looking out over towards the left this time. UTSA can at least be able to prohibit the mid-map push that threw at him. Lando opens up with the first blood, quickly traded out by Zoma. Now, as we said, at a 3 versus 3, once again in the early goings of around here on Protocol. Looks like that bomb's going to blind drop down onto A. They should be able to get this down. Actually, no, it's the bomb carrier. A little lagging behind, but they, again, should be able to get it down.
What alarm bells got hit for Kensei to take that reroute? That was weird, but I mean, it's the worst way to start the 8 bomb here in this 3v3. Bomb going to be planted. Can UTSA crack the code?
Looking for a fling from Zoma. I mean, if he tries to drop the shaft, Zamo's here ready for it. 2 players down towards no man's land. Dro will pop some shots off. Ko will be walking out the other way. As Zamo will be forced to back off just for a moment here. I mean, again, trying to drop down, this is almost impossible to do, and he's got 2 bodies looking at him. The only hope he has here is the last 2 from no man's to fly in, and while Zoma falls, Dro gets caught on a reload, and that's the round.
Yeah, like, let's call a spade here. We recreated the lobby, you load back in, it's 3-0 sure as far as scoreline is concerned. You got no trophies. The reality of the situation, you never just raw dog drop down the shaft like that. You got nades,
Absolutely
you want to
never.
try to at least test through to see what you can connect with some utility. And the attempt was great, but the stun hit yourself when you were trying to drop down. So I don't think the execution was there, but the thought gets you a great thumbs up, but still a 4-0 lead for OU.
Will we see a different look from UTSA on their offense approach this time? I'm willing to wager probably not. But hopefully so, because I want to see them get something on the board to make this at least a competitive search and destroy. They'll drop down the shaft, not looking over towards the right-hand side, and it's the first blood that goes for Tate. He'll get 2, and finally gets traded out after finding the first 2 bloods. It is the age-old concern of not checking corners, and now they can get collapsed upon as 2 men are ready to fly in through no man's, and B-Dub is the last one alive.
Someone just hop it, yep. He's inside a spiral. Able to push, get the trade, and yeah, I mean, Tate just dropped down, find 2. If he didn't find the 2, it would have at least been a 1 for 2. Or at least had some assistance. And we talked about UTSA trying to crack the code, trying to find an understanding of what they need to do. This is now just 5 straight rounds where they have tried turtling up. They've tried to equate aggression. This ain't working. Nothing that they are throwing at the wall is sticking right now. 5-0 lead for OU to take a 2-0 lead here in this best of 5.
All right, Roadrunners. Let's see some firepower on the defense, shall we? Sooners. 1 round away from closing out an exciting search and destroy. Bomb in the hands of Lando. Looking to maybe Preacher Man his way towards a bomb site. As drove from shots on the top of AA gun. Fall to the wayside of Kensei. He'll back off with a nade well placed. 4-4 we go. Bomb goes down today.
All 8 players still alive. You're effectively setting up a pinch here if you are UTSA. Big gunfight up top. Numbers now for UTSA. And post plan.
Dro looking around. Trying to slide for the first one. Catches a spot out on Lando. Information given that only one player may be playing on this initial head glitch.
Shots.
Good shots from the right-hand side. Help over the top. All 4 trying to flood in through no man's, but you see the player trying to make a route through ropes. Kensei stuck by himself, but T8, he's on the opposite side. They're not going to read this hit. All he has to do is just fly into the bomb site and try to get the player that's planting, and I thought for a moment he might be able to slide through, but Corey reads it well. They'll get the defuse, they'll get on the board, and now comes the attempt at the full sail.
Well, the Armada might not be on the screen, but at least we can just continuously until this map 2 is done. But look, I think it's hard to say anything different. I mean, like, that's the best out of the 5 rounds that we've gotten so far, the 6 rounds, excuse me, that UTSA have thrown. All 4 players still alive. They play for a full retake over at A. Nobody drops down Spiral to try to contest early for that plant. It's worked cataclysmically them in the past several rounds. So they just play full retake. They get that pinch back through the top side of the cobble, drop down to no man's. All 4 players, albeit egregious, it works out.
Raw dog down the shaft once again. This time they'll slide out. Tate is forced to back all the way out, back towards no man's land. Look at their first blood on him. So, submachine gun gone. ARs now, though, trying to push back the other way. And Zoma left over by the spiral staircase, having to watch 2 different lanes. Coy, that is a crazy gunfight to win with an AR. We'll slide back out with the pistol. Oh my god, he had 16 HP. Was halfway through the retail on HP, but unfortunately, Oklahoma University will collapse back on the site and will look like it could have been around for UTSA after the first blood came through. It's a 2-0 lead for the Sooners.
You'll see it here. Zamo's perspective, he'll get the lineup. I mean, I don't know how you lose the initial to at least find yourself in the 2 last players remaining, but this whole timing will be found there. You just, again, felt like it was a matter of time, much like how we had in the protocol map number 1, that this will be a 2-0 lead for OU. It's just, I don't want to say that. It's just the Tate show, because, like, Tate is just exploiting the one thing that UTSA Orange is neglecting, it, and that is as simplistic as the flank. Who's watching the flank? It could be a 3-lane map, but it's going to be that 4th lane for an opportunity that you do have to keep in mind. Tate is exploiting that now through Protocol Hardpoint and also through Search and Destroy. So I think for UTSA Orange, you find themselves down 0-2 as we get a full-on breakdown through the 7 rounds worth of play. First Bloods be damned. OU Esports are just the faster team. They're very quick to be able to find those trades and be able to reenact numbers, even how those first 15 seconds may go.
Yeah, I think you broke it down perfectly there. The War of the First Bloods, albeit not really won by OU. Fortunately enough, nets them enough round wins to be able to come out on top of the Search and Destroy. And again, to beat that proverbial dead horse once again. Might as well just beat it back into us. Just because they were the better team in Search and Destroy on paper does not mean that is going to translate into a best-of-5 series. They take 1 round. It's a 6-1 victory for the Sooners. Here in Map 2, we go to a vault control where SMGs once again can just get lost and in behind you. I have to fear that Tate might be in store for another great map.
Yep, surely the case. We'll have to see. I mean, through the upper hallways, all the way down low. Even with picking up a 3rd AR, depending on what the setup may be, defense or offense alike, the kit's just accurate, dude. So I think that any sort of opportunity, whether it's a long line of sight or just through the middle of the map, Tate might as well feel right at home, as these last 3 maps may just be the conclusion on the upcoming for the control for OU to be able to win in a 3-0 fashion, because the only time when they really did feel like that they were truly down was when they were just running at their opponent through those the first 2 hard points back on Protocol Hardpoint. But ever since they've kind of put nose to book, they've remembered their fundamentals. It has been all a Boomer Sooner show.
It has been the Boomer Sooner show thus far through 2 maps. We'll step aside here as we get ready to find ourselves in a vault control for Map 3. UTSA needs a reverse sweep, or at least a map win, to give themselves life in the series. All right, we're real this time. Control Map 3. Oklahoma Sooners looking to push their way across the top catwalk. First gunfight, who would have guessed it? Goes to Tate as he opens up the game. 1 life taken off of each team right now. Of course, that bars Tate being able to run wild on that south side of the map. He'll push over towards the spawn side. Oh my god! Aim labs. Boy, go.
I think Tate's having a good day, man. I think it's a good day to be Tate. It's a good day to be Tate.
Wow. Oh my god, don't you lose that if you're top cat. He just stays alive, dancing around the pillars. Looking over towards the vault. He's so active on so many fronts. It's gonna take an army to bring him down, and it takes 3 men in the middle of the map.
It's becoming an immediate question on, like, what are you even supposed to do? Because, like, you're finding all these kills. It's a 5-1 start for Tate alone. But OU on this opening offense haven't gained a single thing besides, what, that one segment over at A. Here comes that second segment. 2-player strong. Pinch at least being set up for UTSA to try to stop the 60 seconds from being captured. But it's got to be a convincing kill feed.
Selma, back around. Slide Chow. Watches one drop through the vault. Gets a call out. There is one top cat. And who is it? It's Tate looking back down over towards the pillars for yet another kill in a row. 9-2 to start off. 3 in a row once again. Gonna jump back down inside of the hard point. Get shots onto one. Forces him to back all the way outside of you. They don't even want to chow him. They're letting him take over middle map by himself for free.
It's a raid boss, man. Nobody wants to fight him. Not this moment. 10-3 now for Tate. Gonna die again, but still 60 seconds added on towards the board. And albeit like 10-3, it's still 14 plays up against 13. So like still a winnable situation if the Roadrunners just continue to ignore him, I guess. I don't know. It seems like a sound strategy to me.
Love to see it. Orlando will sit tight in the vault. Watch the exit frags. Flanking players no longer. They'll have to back off for just a moment, but Coy on the outside. Oh, if he would have won that, could have given him a better shot to win the round here, but still players pushed up here from Oklahoma University. Tate back to 100 HP. Looking to just contest here for a moment. 4 lives of separation between the two with a minute to play left in the round. They'll get back on B looking for that first tick.
Couple players still hanging by. Tate still over there by in front of the B zone. It's created an opportunity now for Zalmo to work around the backside of the building. Try to get into the backside of Art. Zalmo's located at 11-4 now for the kid. Just going to watch these players work their way over towards B. First segment's already been captured. 2 players are on the zone. The last 2 players left alive. UTSA Orange just don't have enough numbers. OU Esports, they want the ticks. B-dubs would be wise just to throw their life away. Well, did he actually die before that capture? Progress actually came through. I'm not too. Yep, no, it did not. That's the opposite of what you wanted to happen.
Yeah, as you were going through that, I was in the back of my mind. I'm like, dude, just run at him. Like,
you literally just die. Stop.
And they didn't want him. And they let him come sprinting back over towards the point. No contestation on it. So now we will find ourselves 6 ticks captured for Oklahoma University on their first offensive attempt. UTSA going to basically need to do the exact same here. Even things out when the round 5 is concerned.
So just do that. You know, just yeah, just do that. Yeah. I mean, 13-4 start, like I mean, a 14-4 start. All right, I was gonna say, like, he starts going crazy off screen, then we're gonna start having some issues. But UTSA Orange essentially win the opening salvo. I mean, they're still on this A zone. First segment's gonna be locked.
I was gonna say it's also relatively similar across the board too when the slaying is concerned. UTSA on top of it so far in this round, only 6.5 on A. They clear it out for a bit. Dro will be up top. You've got the contestant on top, Cat and Lando. Wild gunfight to win up close. Gonna have a second one challenging him here so soon. We'll escape to the corner. Slide back over towards the right. Omni movement gonna favor him in this too. Now on 3 in a row. You got the Sooners once again lighten up the kill feed. UTSA back to the respawn block. They'll at least be able to try and salvage something at B.
Maybe not. Zoma just kind of ran right past, tried to get inside of P2. Gonna be able to actually win that gunfight into the backside of the P2 house building. So here comes the assistance over towards B, inside of Art now. You gotta kind of throw some effort over towards Zalma, but nobody's watching his backside. Kensei gonna get a really good timing. Catches a mid reload. No. He won that? 5 spree now, still maintain power position. And I love this call coming through from UTSA. Zama's on a massive spree. They flip the pressure over towards A. Assistance is there at B. Zama's still alive inside of Art.
21-6 on 7. Zoma looked to the back again. You cannot kill this man. He just tried to chow that with an SMG as well. Tate will finally put him in the grave. 5 lives down. He'll fly back over. Tate trying to make his own heroics himself. So as the team gets back over, Zoma looks to push up once again. 1 pump chump is good for 1. Make it 2. Tries to go for 3. Yes, sir. On 5 a row yet again. And now Koi will have to turn back around. The team is still there. Just needs to stay down while everybody else hops around him. The stack is going to come in. Nobody's going to be able to touch this. What an offense. Oh, no, baby, for a moment. Okay, there it is. What an offense by the Roadrunners.
Anything you can do, I can do better. You know what's crazy is that, the Boomer Sooners are quite literally just a Wile E. Coyote. And this has now become a Looney Tunes production. Like UTSA just quite literally outsmarted and just outpaced OU. Like the epitome of that cartoon, and that was just a tap into my childhood. I still think about it daily, Alex, for crying out loud. I'm 30. I shouldn't be thinking about Roadrunner in the Wile E. Coyote, but I do, and it's this. For some odd reason, Zoma was just able to stay alive. He finessed his life for so damn long, and that was supposed to be an overextension desperation play. They were set up on A, and Zoma off of, I think his second respawn in that offense, got all the way past B Street inside of Arc, goes on, what was that, an 8 spree? Yep. That round doesn't happen the way it does for the Roadrunners if Zoma doesn't make that play happen.
Boy gets stuck, but not before he gets the Hellstorm. So you have 2 different streaks to use here if you are the Roadrunners. However, the collapse needs to come on this A zone. First stick of progress going to be in. First one up to contest is going to be Zoma. Walks away with 1. Now starts to push his way through the close side. He gets bad timing. 2 players there. Now make it 3. Top control now going to be manifested by the Roadrunners portion. About to slide back. Nate going to weaken him up. Force him not to be able to challenge out towards middle just yet. And T8 look back over towards the close side of U. 2 kills to 1 in the middle of the map. Now it's going to be an even trade. A will be stalled out for a moment, but still contention here.
We did note before that control was a weaker moment. Let's talk about ever so slightly against the undefeated Boomer Sooners for OU. And UTSA continue on with this pressure. 21 plays up against 21. Big one for Tate up top in the hallways. Lando still able to win that one down low. Could be an opportunity, maybe try to get themselves over towards 8. Not even waiting for the full-on regen. Someone's going to punish him because of it. Progress halted.
Boy stuck. 2 players pushing the spawn out. Now you have to be careful at Tate. He'll slide out with the pistol, trying to just chase the other player down. Swap back to the Jackal for a moment. Look back over towards the pool side. Spots him out in the corner. At least I thought he did. Might get bad timing here on the staircase push, and absolutely does. Koi wins the 1v1. Zamo on the opposite end for OU is able to take one out. 18-16. Minute 30 left. Full A capture. Now it's all over towards B.
I mean, they're never going to let somebody get set up comfortably inside of Art ever again. Yeah, it can say set up top over here. Spidey senses tingling. What was Koi previously? B-Dubs attempted to try to get inside of top gold. They're keeping track of numbers. They know that this is the power position. Koi's going to call in one of those Hellstorm missiles. Here it comes. Gonna get that confirmation. Kensei's still alive inside of Art. Everybody's trying to trek on back inside of the hallways. Still finds a kill on a Tate, and they kill Kensei inside of gold. And the Semtex cleans up Zama. I mean, that is just perfect execution of the Hellstorm, albeit A zone being captured in a segment gone by B.
Good communication. One of the most underutilized portions of a Hellstorm. Lower to mid-tier play. Not being able to call out to the teammates. Unfortunately, though, UTSA off the spawn. Not going to be there just yet. Into the vault comes a flank, but you need to touch the zone. There's still a player on it. Laying down. Zama will finally fall. Team kill comes in, yes, but across the map, Oklahoma are going to spawn. 9 versus 8. 1 life of separation. Tons of time to play with. 1 tick to play for on B.
Yeah, I mean, how do you want to win? One good wipe would be the segment at B. Playing for trades, you'll win regardless from the life advantage. But look at these head glitches. UTSA, I mean, they're just bunkered. Top Art. Zoma has a big position to play. 26 and 14 went big in the offensive round. They do it again in the opening here.
2 players pushing the front. Zoma traded. Lando trying to push his way forward. 6 versus 3. Sooners killing everybody out of the spawn side. Back in the Art building. Dro has to push his way forward. 2 on the zone. It's a stack there. Can't get him outside of top Art. And the slide doesn't come through quick enough. So once again, we see an offense with all the ticks being captured by the offending team. Going to be 12 for the Sooners, 6 for UTSA. If they want to force not only a round 5, but get themselves a defense, they're going to have to do a lot of slaying and a lot of capturing.
This feels so egregious, man. It's ball control. We're seeing these segments go by so quickly. Everybody's so focused. I mean, we had a massive play on the offense coming through for UTSA, for Zoma. It's having himself a great series. It's not even a great map. It's just a fantastic series at this point, Alex, as we've noted multiple times. But the biggest edge just comes from trying to understand where the pressure is located at. You had the benefit, UTSA did, at least with the Hellstorm missile. They got the confirmation where everybody was located at, and it also helped them kind of swarm inside of Art and stop the B zone from being captured initially. But it's control. It's always the opening breakoffs. That's what UTSA did so well in their previous offense. They won the opening breakoff so decisively. It started off wonderfully again.
Should have a read on Kensei up top as well, but the shots from B-Dub's not there. The 42 HP, he'll survive up top, and now the spawn push is just in full collapse. It's going to take so long for you to try to break out here. If Tate's just able to stay alive and the rest of the teammates are able to push up and be supplementary on the cross like Kensei over by P2, it's just going to be so hard for the Roadrunners to even break back in towards that A site. Lando pushes his way forward, finds another long-range shot from these Jackal players, just peppering up a few players, not allowing them to push anywhere. Kensei on the long-range shot should be good for one, at least backs him off, but again, time dwindling.
3 down to 40 seconds. 25 plays up against 22. I mean, this is as good as a start as you could possibly imagine for OU Esports. They're trying to push the line of scrimmage a little bit further forward through the middle of the map. Nobody's really kind of anchoring things out in the upper hallways, but still presence to be had over towards the P2 pool side by both Tate and Lando. Gonna back off from the trades. 20 seconds remain. UTSA, they need a good wave of gunfights here, Alex, just to try to touch a zone to stay alive in the best of 5.
This is what happened the last time. They broke out of their spawn. They went over towards B. But Zoma was the one who was able to get in towards top art. No heroics this time. Tate trying to slide his way back out over towards B. Nade should be able to weaken one up. Kensei over the top helps out, but they're still stuck on it. Koi laying down, trying to get that first tick of progress, but they're going to spawn so deep in that top white quadrant of the map. Zoma looking forward, trying to find the shots onto one. Can't find the second. The pickup is there for the trade onto Palms, and as they come off the spawn side, there's not going to be enough time for them to get in the middle map to touch this point. It's a GG's for the Sooners. They'll take the series in a 3-0 sweep, and they'll stay undefeated as the number 12 team.
I mean, it's just at the flip. They're in that round number 4. That was the first round where no segments were captured, just by the way. The first 3 rounds in this ball control were all win by the offense, and we're all full zones being captured. So, yeah, that was weird. That was very weird. It was all happening for maybe all the wrong reasons or for maybe the best reasons. I mean, a great series again coming through from Tate. Zoma in those heroics, you wonderfully called it out because it was that one heroic that he was once again looking for, and I'm sure that he was probably licking his lips and just assuming, hey, man, if I probably get inside of top art again, maybe I could get some assistance through that big old B lane, and we can get 60 seconds out on towards the board. Doesn't happen. Not twice. No dice. Not this time around, and it's going to be a 3-0 for the Boomer Sooners out of OU. So, yeah, everything kind of pointed in the direction. This time the stats were correct in assuming that OU would probably win this series, so they definitely were tested along the way.
They were. The slaying in that last control, very interesting for Oklahoma. It seemed for the most part that the few negative players that they had didn't really have much of a significant impact on the game, but I think with the way that Tate was playing with the SMG, it just sparked 1 or 2 plays for them, especially in that final round, just to be able to push up in those spawns, get aggressive, and make the map just a little bit easier, open the door up for those players to be able to play a more comfortable role, even if they weren't getting the slaying numbers that they might have thought or wanted inside of that map 3. Bar minimum, though, 3-0 for the Sooners. Once again, staying undefeated. They'll improve to 7-0 on the season. The top 25 committee, at least for right now, saving themselves with putting them at the number 12 spot, making them look good on the main broadcast. We appreciate you for that.
Top 25 don't
like
last.
I'm not on the top 25 committee, Lil.
And maybe sometimes. I don't know. Who runs that again? Guy's a weirdo.
Some guy named Logan Lewis.
Yeah,
I wish I had the sound I could play on the mic right now.
Big Rogan fan. Big Rogan fan. Yeah, I mean, look, I think that the top 25, like this right here was the cementing factor, but we're going to be seeing like massive jumps maybe besides like the top 5 continuously happen until we do see like the reshuffle and as the season goes along. It's the same old dance, but being in the top 25, being in the top 20 overall is no easy feat. Clearly, the group of individuals that are a part of that community highly rate this team for a reason. So I more or less want to see what OU look like as the testing continues to come their way, because then it goes back to the point, like those first like 2 hard points on Protocol HP, Alex, they were definitely taking UTSA for granted. That UTSA kind of slapped the fundamentals back into them.
Yep.
And then by the time that finally came around, they showcase why they are highly regarded as a team here in the CCL. So I want to see more of that. I want to see good fundamental COD here from our top 25 teams. And even those outside of the bubble as well, just proving the point on why they could be the best in the country.
Yep. Excited to see the Sooners as they progress throughout the rest of the season. But again, as Andy mentioned, that restructure coming at the end of this week. We got one more match here on the stream before that restructure happens. And then next week inside of the CCL, things will look just a bit different. Until then, one more best of 5 here for tonight. Coming at you. Take a break. Be right back.